If I've learned anything from the hills of San Francisco, these beautiful city hills, is that taking a slower path, is that moving slowly, isn't always a step backwards. For years, I've been racing so hard, I might as well be chasing cable cars, until I learned the moment of pause. So today, I'm here to talk to you about what this moment of pause, what this day to breathe actually meant to me, and how it actually enabled me to move mountains for women and girls around the world. I met Jen at a time of a huge personal and professional transition in my life. I had just become the CEO of Grameen Foundation, maybe about a year into it. I had not taken a moment to pause. Grameen needed to evolve so fast, and I was willing to give it everything that I had, and fast. Let me backtrack a little bit. I'm actually a recovering engineer and an entrepreneur. I gave up my engineering career to actually start developing products for women and girls around the world, because you know that every engineering product created does not have women and girls in mind while they're built. During one of my field visits as I was doing this, I actually met a midwife. And she proudly told me how she gave birth to babies in her thatched hut. And she showed me the tool that she used to conduct childbirth. It was the same tool that she used to cut grass. I was shocked. I couldn't stand the sight of it. We can do better. I can do better, I said. I started a company called Eyes to look at women's health issues differently. And the first product we created was to enable women to give birth in safe and sterile environments, no matter where she was giving birth. We sold over 1 million units. We proved that the women were not poor in mind. They could buy a product and afford a product that was really useful and save the lives of themselves and their babies. We had sold 1 million units, and still, everywhere I traveled, I saw these women struggling. I saw their plight. They needed more. What could we do? I'd heard about this foundation called Grameen Foundation that I learned today, whose only vision was to put poverty in museums by giving women access to capital. So when an opportunity arose to become CEO, I jumped on it. Today, I lead the organization, but I know that access to capital isn't just enough. There's so many women that I have met over the years, just like the midwife, whose only problem has been that they were born in poverty. They have so much strength and so much resolve that none of us can live in their shoes for a second of our lives. Throughout my career, I also had heard this statement, let's empower women. How demeaning. How can we give power to these women who already have so much power and can move mountains with everything that they have? All we need to do is to fix the systems around them and get out of their way so they can move and show that they can achieve their full potential. So at Grameen Foundation, I launched a strategy called Invest in Her Power. Invest in Her Power was all about fixing systems for women. We had 5 verticals. The first one, we would go into the families and talk to these families about these women being respected and valued in their own homes before they stepped out and became entrepreneurs. So the burden of care that they had could be shared amongst people, and that as they step out, they would be respected first in their own homes. They would be given a seat at their own dining table. And we know that women eat meals at the table with their families, their nutrition uptake goes up by 70%. Step 2, we then move into communities and we mobilize communities. And a core part of what we do in these communities is creation of male champions. We train these men not to be threatened by women's economic independence, not to take women being confident and successful as a threat to their masculinity, but look at these women as partners that they can walk out of poverty together with. And we see 80% success rate of men actually supporting their women in becoming entrepreneurs. As we move forward, the third step is to train these women professionally. We've de-risked them through communities and homes, and now we need to de-risk them professionally. We train them in entrepreneurship, climate-smart agriculture, access to markets. How do you access capital? How do you use the capital? Finally, we move to the financial institutions, and we enable them to create new loan products that are meant for these women and can serve these women. And last but not the least, as our fifth vertical, we actually guarantee these loans if need be with philanthropic capital, so we can move capital faster without collateral and the full amount these women entrepreneurs are asking for. In the last 18 months, we've seen that in West Africa, our work has reduced interest rates for women from 33% down to 12%. Well, so yes, this is great. We had this amazing strategy, and that's when I was moving fast and forward, and I met Jen at SOCAP. And Jen said, I want to give you a gift of a day to breathe. My initial reaction was, do I have the time to go take a day off? But talking to Jen convinced me. I went to a day to breathe with my colleague. We soaked into the inspiration, the carefully orchestrated sessions, the beautiful walks, the amazing vegan meals, and we took the time and space to actually think about how is this strategy going to look like in the real world. And I realized that the biggest thing that you can do to be between you and your goals is not take that moment of pause. It actually reminds me of this quote from this woman called Tricia Hershey, who wrote in her book, Rest in Resistance. You were not born to center your existence around work and labor. You were born to heal, to grow, to be in service of yourself and your community, to practice, to experiment, to create, to make space, to dream, and to connect. If I wanted this reality for millions of women around the world, I needed to start with myself. And I cannot thank Tim and Jen enough for giving me the opportunity to start with myself. Today you're here listening to all these amazing women after me. If you really want to connect with us, talk to me about how we can change the world, how we can end poverty in the world by investing in the power of women. Please come talk to me, reach out to me through Jen, and also listen to all the powerful talks these women bring to you today, because we all have immense power in us. We have to invest in our power so we can invest in others' power. Thank you.